In this video, I'm going to talk about mindset and having the right mindset to succeed. My name's Adam Panisi. I started off doing property development a number of years ago. I saw this as an avenue to quit my job full time, and from there on, I've gone on and built a pipeline of $200 million of my own property development projects. What has played a part in that is my mindset. I truly believe that it's not only the skill set that you need to actually execute what you set out to do, and that doesn't necessarily have to be property. That can be in business, that can be in other investment avenues, that can be even in your own job to get a promotion. I wasn't really fond of working for somebody else and working my way up the ranks because I didn't have the career that I originally set out to do in terms of getting promoted really early and getting paid really well. And so I thought, I'm just going to focus on something else. So you might be in that boat, or you might be career driven, and there's nothing wrong with either of those. But the biggest thing you need to remember is that, one, you need the skill set, sure, but the bigger part of the equation is not the skill set, it's actually in the mindset. And the mindset actually creates the thoughts, beliefs, actions that produces the results. And a lot of people think it's in the how-to, so, doing all the study at university, going out, spending whatever it costs to go to university. My university degree, I'm a civil engineer by profession. That was a $40,000, $50,000 degree. It's probably more now. And there's plenty of other university degrees that are $100,000 with no guarantee that you'll even get into a job at the end. And that's the how-to. So there is no why behind going and getting a university degree. Like, they don't teach you about mindset, they don't teach you about working your ranks up, being successful, whatever that means to you. But ultimately, being successful in my mind is choosing what you want to do when you want to do it, and spending time with the people that you want to spend time with. So spending time doing what you love to do. So I just happen to love property. I do it for 60, 70 hours a week. I enjoy the fulfillment of success and accomplishment. And I am fortunate enough that I've got flexible time that I can see my wife and kids during the day if I choose, or if I want to take a day off during the week and do something else, like spend time with them or whatever it is that I choose to do, go on a holiday. But that's a choice that I've made for myself because I put the work in over a decade ago to not only get educated but then change my mindset. That's why plenty of people go to a Tony Robbins event or other guys that teach about mindset, because mindset does play a big role. Now, it's good to have the right mindset, don't get me wrong on that. I do believe it's the bigger part of the pie. But if you don't have a vehicle, there's no point in having a nice mindset or a good mindset if you're in a vehicle, or you don't have a vehicle that's going to take you to that level, or that level of success that you want. And if it's just the time freedom, then that time freedom can give you something else that you won't have had without the time freedom. For example, when I got my time freedom back, it opened me up to be doing bigger projects. So when I quit my engineering job, I was working 80 hours a week in my engineering job. And once I had that 80 hours a week back, the amount I accomplished with that 80 hours was like incredible, because I'd never had that amount of time available that I either wasn't studying at university and I wasn't working at a full-time job since I was 18, basically. So you do need the mindset. That is the more important part, but you still need the vehicle. So, it's all good people going to Tony Robbins events and all these other mindset events. Yes, great, it's changing your mindset. But if you don't know what the hell you're doing, there's no point in having a great mindset and not having a vehicle to actually execute that, or not having a plan in place. So I believe you've got to have a focused plan, or a plan that's mapped out. If you don't have a map, same with driving in a car like I'm doing now. I know where I'm going. I've got the map on the GPS, not that I'm looking at that as well, but I'll check it in about 5 or 10 minutes to make sure I haven't missed a turnoff. But it's like that, having a roadmap, so having your goals set out and then breaking those goals down into micro bits, micro parts. And those micro parts are going to include having a vehicle or doing something. Thoughts, beliefs create action, and that action produces a result. You've just got to be doing the right action. And without the vehicle, without the doing the right action, you're going to be floundering. And I can relate to floundering around for a little while or for a long while. Even when I was doing property development, I just had some mentors that didn't really show me everything that I needed to know. So I had to work it out. I had to work a lot of this stuff out myself. I paid a fortune to mentors. Yes, they taught me the fundamentals, but they didn't teach me all the ins and outs that I needed to know. And sometimes you need to figure that out by yourself. I think I just figured out 90% of it myself. So obviously I've documented that in my own program that I teach other people, because I can fast track the journey that I went on, providing that you do the work. Really, that's really all you need to do, is turn up and you'll get the results. I know it sounds funny and simple, but that's literally the secret to my success and the secret to other people's success that I know of. They've literally turned up, they've had a roadmap, they know where they're going, and they've changed their mindset. So when I talk about mindset, I'm just going to talk about really high level, think in abundance, because once you think in abundance, you start attracting that into your life. So there's no lack of money. The only thing that you're limited by is the time. So there is going to be an expiry date on all of us, but there is no lack of money in the world. They've just printed a whole heap. So if you think that there's a lack of money, or you say things like money doesn't grow on trees, or whatever that is, whatever that subconscious programming that you've had as a child and into your adulthood, those beliefs have been true up until this point for you. So whatever you believe is true. So if you believe there's no money, well, there is no money. That's what you're going to attract. If you believe there's unlimited money, then you're going to attract unlimited money. Now, you may not attract unlimited in the sense of all the money in the world, sure, but you're going to attract a lot of money into your life if that's your belief. One experience that I've just had in the last couple of days is that I went into a meeting, and this person, and I'm not going to name names, but their mindset has created and attracted to them what the result was in their current present. And there's different thoughts, different emotions that create different frequencies and different vibrations. And this particular person had a frequency, an emotion of jealousy. And he didn't say that, but it was evident from his body language, his death stares, his smart-ass comments, personal attack of myself, and it was all around jealousy. If you go and Google emotional frequencies, jealousy is one of the lowest. So low vibration frequencies are not going to attract high vibration frequencies, which you need for success. So high vibration frequencies is like belief, love, inspiration. So instead of seeing somebody that is more successful than you, I know it might be normal human nature for you to think, oh, they've been handed that to them, and I'm guilty of this as well. Thinking, has that, I've worked really hard, and that person's more successful than me, or whatever it is. That is not going to serve you. That jealousy, emotion, and frequency is going to actually propel you away from what it is that you want. So when you see other people's successes, who cares how they've gotten it, what they've had to do? None of that's relevant, because you're never going to know somebody else's journey. And if you're just meeting somebody and you don't know exactly what they're going through, you're only going to see the tip of the iceberg. And even for people that you might know well that are successful, you're only seeing the tip of the iceberg with that person. You don't know what work they've put in, how they've changed their mindset, what they're doing on a day-to-day basis, unless you live their life and you're right next to them, which you're not going to be able to do. So instead of feeling that jealousy, praise people for the successes, because if you do, and when you do, that will actually create your own success. So living in that abundance and living off those other people's wins creates your own success and your own win. If you're jealous of that person and you want to say negative whatever about someone being successful, negative comments, remarks, that's your immediate thought, then that's going to propel you away from that. You're not going to attract that into your life, and it's going to move you in the wrong direction if that's where you want to go. So that's around mindset. I'm just going to keep it really high level, and keep it really high level in the sense of attracting abundance into your life, having a roadmap, and creating those beliefs, those thoughts, those patterns that will change your actions, and then those actions change your results. So just as a starting exercise, just write down your goals for the next 3 to 5 years, break them down into yearly goals, and then break them down into monthly goals. So write down your monthly goals. I teach this in my program, because once you've got your monthly goals, then you're working to bite-sized pieces. And now it's not overwhelming. It's not something that's way into the future. It's something that you can do every month. And it doesn't have to be big. It can just be something small. If you want to go to the gym and get fit, just write down on your monthly goals, I've gone to the gym 20 times this month. If that's your goal on getting fit, it doesn't have to be monetary related. And have the mindset of abundance that if somebody else has achieved this, then you can too. And that comes down to the belief. So if it's possible in the world, then it's possible for you. If somebody else has achieved it, then you can achieve it as well. And I'm a true believer of that. That was how I did my first development site. A lady told me that I could buy property with no money down. I just needed to find the vendor. I was 22 years old. I believed what she said, and I had unwavering belief. So that is the key. The secret is that she told me that it's possible. She told me that she had done it with all these other development sites. So I had that belief that if she did it, then why can't I? And she's just told me how to do it. So I've just got to go out there and do it. So that belief created that action that I would find a site where the vendor would finance the development and the acquisition, and I wouldn't need to put in any money of my own, which I didn't really have at the time. I was on $60,000 a year as a graduate engineer. Although managing a $25 million project, they still weren't paying me any more than $60,000 a year because I'd only just graduated. Didn't matter that I got first class honours, didn't matter that I worked for them for a couple of years. I was still on $60,000 a year managing a $25 million project. And at that point, I was working 50 to 60 hours per week because I just wanted to get my ranks up and be promoted and succeed at my job in my career. So having that belief that it is possible, and when people say no, when you approach a vendor, if you want to do vendor finance, for me, plenty of people said no, but it wasn't the no's that were important, because I knew that if this person was no, then the next person's going to be yes, and if the next person wasn't going to be yes, then it's the next person. So it's about getting back up and just keep doing it, having that belief, because for most people, they only hear 2 or 3 no's, and then they say, oh, it's not possible that I'm going to do a property deal with no money, or I'm going to get the vendor to finance it, or whatever it may be, whatever your limiting belief is. As long as it's possible for somebody, it's possible in the world, and it's possible for you. So you've got to maintain that belief that it is possible, whatever that goal or aspiration is, and then just work towards that. And when you get knocked down, when somebody says no, it's like, cool, I'm one more no towards the yes. And I've always had that belief in everything that I've done. If somebody says no, it's like, cool, it's not meant to be, we're not meant to build a relationship, I'm not meant to buy your property, whatever it is, this isn't meant to work out, and it's all working out for my good. And I know that whatever's next, whatever comes up, is meant to work out for me, and it's meant to work out for me in the long term, not just in the short term, because some funny things have happened to me personally, and I'm sure they've happened to you as well, where things come up, it has not been ideal, it's not what you expected, but then it all works out in the long run, and you're a better person for it, and it creates new opportunities, whether that's new relationship opportunities, whether that's new investment opportunities, whatever that is that's led you to the point where you are has all been because of what you've attracted. Once you start changing your mindset, your beliefs, you'll start attracting different things. So start from today, start writing down some of your goals and start changing your belief patterns on what it is that you can achieve, because if it's possible in the world, it's possible for you. Thanks, I hope you've learned a lot about mindset on this video. I know it's short, there's so much more I can jump into. I can talk about experiences that I've had, which have just been incredible around mindset, but I'll share those in other videos. Have a great day, and if you like my content, please subscribe and let me know what else that you want me to do a video on.